Alright everybody, it's been a while since I uploaded a YouTube video. Not much has really changed as far as the vehicles and where they're sitting right now, but I figured I'd do an update and also show you the rigs that I got right now. So we'll start here with the Cherokee. Not much has changed with it. I think I trimmed out the wheel wells just a little bit more to stop a little bit of rubbing. Took it up in the mountains, flooded it, had to pull the plugs and the distributor and clean that all up and change out some power wires or some power cables on it, the ones to the battery and the ones to the starter, because it didn't want to start. Just was acting like it didn't have enough juice at the battery. I think I ended up getting a new battery on it too. And finally it started running again. Other than that, it's doing pretty good. But here's how it sits. So it's about the same. Got some new stickers on it. Dirt head sticker from Dirt Every Day. On J10, Idaho Vintage Jeep Rally, East Idaho Jeep sticker. Harry Situations from Harry Wagner. Closure Isn't Management sticker. A couple others. It's, like I said, just about the same. Not much has changed with it. The J truck, these tires on the Cherokee came off the J truck, and so I swapped back on the old knobbies. They're really old BF Goodrich Traction Plus tires, and it sits like this. Not much has changed with it. The fuel line, I think it's the return line, the rubber fitting at the tank is cracked, and so when you run it, when you idle it for a while, it starts puking gas, and all the bolts on the bed and the tank are all rusted and breaking. So I haven't tackled dropping that tank or taking the bed off to fix that yet. So I pulled it out, run it a little bit, driven it just a little bit, but haven't really done much with it. It has been a long time since I've shown the Liberty and where it's at. So what happened with it was the engine was a quart low on oil, and I was going up a steep, muddy hill, and it started to knock. The crankshaft bearings ovaled, or the crankshaft itself ovaled out, and the bearings started knocking on it. I tried getting in there to see if I could replace the bearings, but they weren't the problem. It was the crankshaft itself that had ovaled. So it runs, but I've robbed the battery out of it, and now it sits like this. The tires that are on the Cherokee are actually the 35s off this, so it's got just some dinky little tires on there, and it just sits. And it's got hornet's nest growing, it's covered in dirt from just sitting, and it's just pretty sad. Did all that work on the suspension and bumper, and then engine blew, and I just haven't had the shop, or I guess the motivation to get in there and fix that engine or swap it out again, since this is the third engine. So right now it sits. I'm thinking about doing a 4.3 liter Vortex swap and just getting rid of this crappy Jeep engine to begin with, but that was just a thought. So other vehicles that I haven't showed you that I've had this 44 GPW for a long time. Right now it's just storage as it sits and has the weeds grow up through it. I've had this in my family since I was 16. It ran at one time, but the idiot that we bought it from put a straight 6 in it out of a Ford Falcon. Way too long of an engine, ended up cutting into the firewall, and it never really ran all that great. So the plan is to swap that engine out with a 4-cylinder out of something. I'm thinking a Pinto, something with a carburetor, just so I don't have to mess with the electronics and stuff. But that's really far down the road. Another vehicle that I haven't really showed you is my Jeep Comanche. It's an 89 Jeep Comanche. It's got a Dana 44 high pinion Dana 44 out of a 250 in it. And then it's got cut fenders and 37s. It's got spring over, custom long arm, 3-link suspension in the front, a 14 bolt in the rear. This had factory 307 gears. So when I did this swap, I just went with the readily available 410s that came in the 14 bolt stock, and then I got some 410 gears, swapped them into the front, and that seems to be all right for this tire size and the engine. It's the 4.0. It could use a little bit lower gearing. I think 456 probably would have been perfect, but it also would have made it really high RPMs on the freeway. Anyways, I've replaced the water pump in it because it went out, and after I replaced it, I didn't really do much with it. I just parked it again, and we moved. That's what it was. We moved. I parked it. Haven't really registered or insured it, so it just needs a new battery, and that one's good to go. But that's an update on all the rigs. On the Liberty, the J10, the Cherokee, and then an introduction to some of the other rigs that I have. If you have any questions about them, just ask me. I'd be glad to answer them. Thanks for watching.